So what if you owned a laptop like this what if you bought a laptop like this back in back in like the mid to late 90s, and now you find yourself in the early 2000s where this is becoming obsolete. What are your options? Should I buy a new laptop, which will be out of date in several more years, or should I just wait on buying that and instead buy a desktop? So what are my options for buying a desktop computer then? Well, I'm going to show you what they would have been. And so the choices that you would have had back then was for back in 1999. If you were thinking about buying a computer back in 1999, on the low end of like computers, that was not even as that was still somewhat high end. I'd guess medium end. You have the Gateway Essential ESS 450 SE on the left, bottom left. If you wanted something a little bit better, you could always wait a year later. You wait a year later when Intel introduced the Socket D70 platform. And the computer that you see at the top is the compact Presario 5BW160. What is nice about this machine is it didn't just come in Pentium 3 and Pentium 3 flavor. It also came in Intel's quite marketable Celeron variant flavor as well. And this computer had one bonus to it. It had front panel USB ports that you can see behind the little flap door. Flap door? Yeah, flap door. Right there. The Gateway Essential ESS 450 used the slot 1 design of the slot 1 variant of the Pentium 3, which was the first variant. This one was the first one to introduce the Coppermine architecture as well. Whereas the compact Presario 5BW, the 5000 series 5BW, model 5BW160, introduced the socket B70 design, which was just the regular old CPU socket. And had the distinction, unlike the Gateway Essential ESS 450, it did not have an AGP slot or advanced, or what we call, which stands for advanced graphical port, or something to that effect. I don't really remember exactly. So let's first take a look at each machine. Now, the compact Presario 5BW160 came with an Intel Pentium 3 700 MHz CPU. The stock amount of RAM was 128 megabytes. The Intel integrated graphics chip, which is going to be the same as the one that is in the computer that we're going to get to. Basically, this machine was never meant to be used really for gaming. It was meant for like home use. The machine on the bottom, right, is the Dell Dimension L1000R, which, unlike the compact Bezel 5BW160, features a 1 GHz Pentium 3 clocked at 1000 megahertz or megahertz or 1 gigahertz. Pretty much. And so, one thing you'll notice about the Dell Dimension, not Dell Dimension, about the Socket 270 platform is the difference in the slotted Pentium 3 versus a socketed Pentium 3, and how that is quite an alien design compared to what you're probably used to nowadays, which is pretty much not that different from if you're using like an AMD CPU. Still, not that different, much of a difference between like the socket 370 that you see right here, that we'll be seeing pictures of in the video. And yeah, that's quite an interesting thing about machines of this era. Now the computer that I'm going to be showing off in this particular video is the Dell Dimension L1000R that we got, that I found just thrown out. Thrown out like a month ago, and I did a video on this machine. This computer, for those who didn't watch that video, was originally designed for Windows 2000 and Windows 98. And I bet you could have gotten this computer with Windows either 2000 or 98. But this machine, as you will see, would have originally came with Windows Millennium. This system sports the Intel Pentium 3, like the two other computers that you saw in the pictures, and it is clocked at 1000 megahertz. You could have gotten this computer with a zip drive. And if you don't know what a zip disk looks like. I'll show you what a zip disk looks like. This is what a zip disk looks like. And what these were was before the age of thumb drives. These were like the best possible form of removable media that you can get. Not always reliable, but you know, that's basically what you had. But these would shortly, at the time of this computer's release, become obsolete, because as you can see, DVD ROM drives were becoming were going to become the standard. And you also had removable thumb flash drive, which of course you have floppy. You always had floppy drives, and these would stick around for a very long time, till maybe like the mid to late 2000s. But they would still provide the provision to connect one until like 2010 with something. You got your power button. You got your hard drive indicator. If you look at the back of the machine, you can see the wide range of I/O. You have PS2 keyboard and mouse. Only 2 USB ports. I mean, there was this shit fuck on the internet, on YouTube, complaining about how this computer was the dumbest computer that I had ever used. Ooh, because I couldn't play any more games. Because I couldn't play Need for Speed 3, and plus it only had 2 USB ports. As I'll show you in a while, as I'll show you next, there are ways to mitigate that. And eventually I may get a USB 2 card for this computer. But yeah, for right now, we're just going to deal with what we got here. You have PS2, audio, USB, onboard Intel 82. I believe this is on the onboard Intel A10 E chipsets graphics adapter. That we're looking at. I don't know what the exact chip is, but I know it's in part of the Intel A10 chipset. Parallel port, a COM port, and something that you wouldn't have normally had seen on computers unless you either bought Dell. Like, you'd probably see this mostly on a Dell computer, or their famous indicator lights. And I think you still see them on modern Dell PCs. Really nice feature. I've basically taken the old sound card out, the sound card that was originally in the system out. And I also took the Ethernet card that someone had installed in here out, and I put in my own Ethernet card. but I still have the video card that the original owner threw in here. And I'll get into that card when we get into the inside of the machine. And I've stuck in a back plate which bears the Dell logo, just so I can actually put some bling bling on this machine, because I really do love Dell computers. They're amazing machines. Even this machine, despite it having like weird issues that I'll get into when we start taking a look at the machine itself. Weird issues relating to the RAM, which was one of the things that the individual was complaining about. Yeah, I kind of agree with this, but I watched a video of complaining about it. I'll probably put clips of his video in this video. But I want to first show what would have originally been on here. This computer seems like it didn't have a network card in here, because then that would be in here. This originally had this Sound Blaster Audio PCI 64, and as you can tell, as you can see, no joystick port, just the basic free audio. And that white connector, that long white connector, by the way, is for connecting to a front panel, like front panel audio, so you can use headphones with this sound card in a more convenient way. And the next card that originally was in here was this QVC modem card that I took out of here because, well, there are reasons for not having cards like this that you're not going to be using in a machine, in a machine that you're using, because if you don't have use for a particular card, take it out. It'll make your system run better. But that is what it looks like. And I say, and I guess we can power the system on and show things, what's in the BIOS. Even though I've shown what's in the BIOS of this machine before. Let's just hook it up and take a look at what I've done with it. Oh yeah, I forgot. We're going to open up the system. So the way you open the system, as I showed before, is you push that, and it should just slide like that. Push. It comes right out. Now, if you want to remove the front bezel to do like removing the drives, you push that down, and that comes right off. So since I don't have this hooked up, and if you needed rails to connect your drives, they always offer them down here. So this the amazing thing about Dell's toolless case design. What if it's still connected? What if it's still connected? Shit. I broke the connect. Shit. Oh shit. I broke the that's not good. I guess I'll have to go with yeah, I guess I broke this. Great. And I've had this computer for a month and I broke one of the rails. How fantastic. Probably can't replace these rails. So it's as easy as sticking it in, and this would clip in if you needed. So this is what the rails look like. You can see that I broke one of them already on camera. Yippee-ki-yay! Bloody Halkin! Halkin! Ah, bloody Halkin! Fucking taste of shit! Whatever. And so, you would take the card out, you just hold these and just pull it out, stick it in, just put it back in, and these clips should clip right in. I guess it's not a big deal, because it seems like it gets held in. That's fine. Not a big deal. Now let's take a look at the internals of the machine. Now you can see my video card. The sound card that I've installed in here is Yamaha YMDS XG YMF 724. And this sound card is really nice card. The reason why I threw it in here was because I wanted a really good sound card. Just for a couple of games that I'm going to show off in this video. Now the video card, one of the options for a video card that you could have gotten for this machine is either the Nvidia GeForce 4 MX 4400 SE PCI Legacy Edition, or an Nvidia GeForce FX 5200. Those were your two options back in 2000. Back in that, two of your best options by 2003 for this computer. So this computer was manufactured on May 29th, 2001. If you hold this, we push down on this. I'll show you here. I can show you here, right here. Push that down, and the power supply of itself. So if we look in here, we got the CPU here. On socket 370, I'll show you a picture of the CPU, of a socket 370 CPU, in comparison to slot 1. Much earlier in the video, and the capacitors seem to be in very good, pretty good condition. This system originally had 128 megabytes of RAM, so I installed 512 megabytes of RAM. I've upgraded. This computer originally had a 20 gigabyte Seagate hard drive, but I've installed a laptop hard drive because I thought this would be one way to make this a very interesting video is install a laptop hard drive. Can't see that. And one thing you may notice with this particular machine is that little additional power connector. If I can just turn my flashlight on. A little additional power connector that you can see there. It's something that Dell loved to do. In addition to like the standard ATX connectors, you can see right there, was they love to put one of these stupid power connectors, and I don't know what the purpose behind that is. I mean, this motherboard, as we'll find out, was a retail motherboard that didn't require this. But Dell asked Intel, we need this connector on this motherboard. So we need you to manufacture this board with this dumb connector I don't understand the purpose of. As you can kind of see, there's like a Dell brand on a Dell part number on the motherboard some down there. I'm not going to look. So we got the North Bridge up here. Yeah, I might put a heat sink on that chip. And we got the South Bridge probably down there. There's probably the South Bridge, where the light is shining. South Bridge, I think. Either that, or it's the video chip. I don't know what the video chip is exactly. I think it might be integrated into the chipset. Which Intel did something pretty cool. This is a Toshiba 80 gigabyte hard drive. And you can see a little contraption that I have it plugged into. We're going to have to make sure it's connected all the way before we do crap. So before I do that, we take a look at the machine. I'll make sure it's hooked up. So if we just take a look at the machine now. So I've just booted her up. Nvidia GeForce 4. I've now booted her up in the BIOS. So you can tell that this is what the BIOS looks, what the main screen looks like. Not much. 1 gigahertz. I've updated the BIOS to BIOS version A14. Boot configuration, plug and play, num-lock on. Peripherals. Not much. And I've basically decided to make that available for use by legacy IS. Available because this isn't, because we don't have an ISA card on here, so we don't have an ISA slot, so I don't see the point in having that reserved. Let's take a look at the option for parallel port mode. Those are the modes for the parallel port. What about the serial port? And not much. Not much. Interrupt 7. Not much. So let's go into Ide configuration. So this, oddly enough, does not recognize the optical drive for whatever reason. I don't know if I have it plugged in properly. We'll find out. Disk configuration. I can enable write protection to prevent the formatting of a disk if I have a reason for doing that. But I should have that enabled on all times. Event log. Not much. I have it on onboard or PCI, but as we'll see with soon other operating system that I've installed in addition to this operating system, that the strange thing is it can take advantage of both of those, both the onboard and the card that's installed on here. We'll find that out later on. Security, set password. Not really much. Quick boot. I have it set to where the floppy drive boots first, the CD-ROM drive boots second, the hard drive boots third. Yeah, that's the way you do it with Windows 98. So I guess we'll discard the settings. So as you can see, this little program that you see right here. As you can see, I've got Windows Millennium Edition installed on here, and Windows XP Professional Edition with Service Pack 1. Now the program that I'm using to dual boot these two OSs is a program called Acronis OS Selector, that if you wanted to dual boot these operating systems properly, with having Windows XP preserve NTFS support, without having to give that up in order to dual boot Millennium Edition, you could do that. This is version 5.0 Special Edition, I think. Build 481. The copyright on the software is from 2001 to 2002. So this would have been available at that time. Well, we're going to boot first into Windows Millennium. And we're going to take a look at what you might have been running on a system like this when this was a new system. So the obligatory Windows Millennium. Yeah, not that different from Windows Windows. So one of the first things I'm going to show is networking and how you set up a network on Windows Millennium. Because Windows Millennium, this is going to be very important when I go into like the XP side of things. Let's see if I can find my little CAN pod. So what we got here, of course this is a CRT monitor. This is a Sony Trinitron, and you might have had like a Sony Trinitron iron. So before we go into that, your computer might have come with one of these Dell quiet keys, which weren't so quiet. Let's see. Before I even go into explaining, the computer probably came with a Dell keyboard similar to this, but I am using a Dell AT101W that I got back in December of 2017. And that is the keyboard that I'm using with this computer right now. This is an ALP switch keyboard, as opposed to that, which uses a mechanical mechanism that triggers rubber dome switches. This is a true mechanical keyboard. As compared to this one. So I just thought I would point that out before we take a look at networking. So what I want to show you with the networking aspect of things is what my router is. What router I'm using. I'm using an old Linksys router that I've hooked up right now. And the way you set up a network connection on Windows Millennium is by way of where is it? It's by way of a wizard. You know, wizard Harry. You are a wizard, Harry. You mean I help people with their internet? With their network connection? Yeah. Good old the Flying Scotsman. Which me and the Flying Scotsman don't get along anymore. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I and him are not on best of terms. And also I and Billy Core are not on best of terms. It seems like my CD-ROM drive ain't connected properly. You know what? I'll have to power the system off. We'll deal with that. So, yeah, I'll just power this off before we get around to that, because this is going to be convenient. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, my CD-ROM drive wasn't hooked up, so we're gonna need that later on. So, what we're gonna need to do like the networking, is we're gonna need a trusty floppy disk. So we're gonna stick the floppy disk in. We're gonna stick that in. And I believe this has got a Windows, this is a DOS 8.0 boot disk, 8.0 boot disk. I can always format this again, but we're going to need that in order to do, in order to set up the networking. So we're going to load networking, my network places. We're going to load the home networking wizard. And we're going to just do this. So you just click next. Direct ISP connection. On Realtek 8139. I believe this is a D card, if I remember. So we're going to connect directly to ISP. L1 KR, which is what I called it. Use this networking. And use whatever you want to use. By default, this will use SFCOM, not SFCOM, MS Home. My network. And if you have any printers, you can select them on the bottom window. But you gotta specify a password if you're gonna share this folder. So I'm just gonna use I'm not gonna have you see my password. So there you go. You just put your password in, and now let's see if we can turn that refresh rate down so it's not harsh on your eyes. Play the play monitor. Let's take it down to like 7. That's worse. I guess that's alright. So let's continue. Click next. And if you have other computers on the network, you just make a boot disk. And you just click yes, create a home networking setup disk. And what you would do is with this is that if you're running like either Windows 98, a computer with Windows 98, or Windows 95, you would make this disk. And you would install this on you basically do the same thing with this. That way you could connect both of these. That way your Windows 95 machine and your Windows 98 machine would see this computer on the network. So we'll do yes. Any data will be deleted. And I say, delete! 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 Sure. So we're making the disk. And so now we have our network. So we're going to have to restart the computer. And we may actually be able to see this computer on my router. So we'll see. We'll see. So let's boot in to, oh yeah, take the disk out. Control-Delete. Yeah, make sure to take the disk out of the computer after you made the floppy. And I would always make the floppy, even if I don't have any computers in the house. Because you never know when you have friends who take their laptops over. And they take their laptops. And so you can tell that the boot screen is similar to Windows 98. That is because this is Windows 98, but with a Windows 2000 look to it. So let's now take a look at the network. Now I don't have any other computers running right now. To kind of demonstrate the full networking experience of Windows. But we have our home network is set up. So let's see what it tells us. Right there, you can do that. You do the same thing. You run the utility from this on 95, 98 machines. So now we're going to go to my network places, and the computer should be seen. It probably can work because Windows Millennium Edition, strangely enough, doesn't seem to want to work. Either that or my network wire isn't working properly, which is an even stronger possibility. Might have to see if I've got another network cable around here. But I won't worry about that. I'll probably show you a picture of what it looks like in Windows 98, which is quite similar to this. But let's first deal with Windows Millennium Edition. So let's go to like my computer, And you can see I've got a disk and CD-ROM drive. I'll show you that at some point. Let's go to properties. It sees our Pentium 3, our RAM, Windows Millennium, device manager. So this is not utilizing that card because unlike Windows XP, which I'll show you with that, something really neat with XP regarding the onboard graphics, video GeForce. I have the VXD drivers for the DSXG Yamaha sound card installed. And it has that installed. And I think I don't even need to install the actual drivers for the Realtek card under Millennium and XP. And one of the other things I forgot to mention was one of the main advantages that Windows Millennium had, which was the ability to plug in external media devices like an external zip drive, for instance. Into USB, or a USB thumb drive. Now, the reason why I forgot about this is because I was in a hurry to do the video. So this will be inserted somewhere in the video. So, the ability to plug thumb drive in, and for instance, be able to do much, was always a very big deal. So what about every day-to-day tasks, internet browsing? Well, internet browsing back in, you probably would have been using Internet Explorer version 6. Of course, I don't have it hooked up to, I don't have this computer hooked up to the network, or I would show off a website. Or maybe I should. I should actually hook it up. And there is a website I want to show off. If you go to this website, oh, you better. We can go to this website right now. Got my big cable. We're going to go to a website called Otaku. The Otaku was an anime website that was created back in the mid-90s, which I learned about like a year ago. Someone's going to put your audio. So what I want to do is hook up. Now it works with this it works with our home router, but it doesn't work with my license. Can't see that. That's weird. So we're going to go to a website called Otaku World. Just to demonstrate what that was like back in the, what web browsing was like back in the early 2000s. Ah, nice clicky keyboard. Let's go. And this is what it looked like back in the early 2000s. Founded in 1996. $1995, whatever. This website was an anime website. So let's check out a page. Otaku World Reviews. Our reviews of anime, manga, books, and video. So let's see. Let's pick in Kiki's Delivery Service from Disney. When was this reviewed? 1998. So the May 2003 1998 Seattle International Film Festival was the site of the world premiere of the Disney version of Miyazaki Studio Ghibli's masterpiece, Kiki's Delivery Service. It was clear from the start that no one in the festival or at Disney understood the value of the work, as the film was scheduled as part of the Children's Festival, and both staff and the Disney executive were visibly shaken by the almost entirely adult audience. With a weak "Hello, children," the obligatory Disney marketing addressed the packed theater, booked to overflow with folks over the age of 25. Only a handful of children were present amidst the growing savvy of anime fans. Now, so yeah, I'll probably put a link to the website in the video description if you want to go to this website and check out some stuff. But I thought we would check out some pictures. Guess it doesn't work because this website is so old. Oh well. Shit. And by the way, unlike Windows 98, this has a Windows only version of Scandals. I thought it showed that off since it decided to crash like as you saw. Yep, you cannot run Windows, one does not simply show Windows Millennium Edition off and not expect it to crash. But that might not necessarily be the total fault of Windows Millennium. I'll show the rest of the website off once this gets done. Maybe yeah, once. Hey, guess what decided to pop up at boot up? The network password. So this kind of user account thing. This would pop up if you have your Windows Millennium machine hooked up to the network. So decided pop up because we are hooked up, and maybe I can show you what the window is, what the window would, what it would look like for your computer to show up on the network. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. So, do we see our computer? Oh, it actually shows everything on here. It shows other computers. So, what if I wanted to connect to, so it would show other computers on the network. Maybe here. I want to see if I connect to this one. I forget what this computer, but it doesn't show the computer. But it's very similar to XP in that, as I'll show XP off in a minute. The computer name, I think, over here. It's an XP, it's different. But the identification, L1KR. So let's go to L1KR. And then we'll go back to the anime website. So what would the folder look like? It's basically what it would look like if I was able. I probably could connect this computer. Connect to this computer on a modern system. So let's see what that would be like before we zoom back to the website. So I got my Windows 10 machine. See if it connects to a Windows Millennium machine. So I got, let's see if we can connect. It's going to crash because, it actually does. It does connect. So unfortunately, the way networking is done on these two OSs is completely different, but it does read. So now back to the website. And just looking around on the website. What other stuff? Yeah, because I think this website's been slightly updated. Let's just download a. So where were we? We were on Kiki's delivery service. So yeah, we were on here. Kind of cool. Now we're gonna go back. Now you can also download like anime game wallpaper. Let's take a look at that. Cool add-ons for like Quake 3 Arena. Now, I have Quake 3 Arena installed on here. By the way, Bash the Stampede. That's cool. That's Quake 3 Arena. Whatever. Let's go to like anime desktop themes. And these are designed for Windows 98, but they can also be ran on Windows Millennium. So we got Bubblegum Crisis. We have that. Or my favorite one, El Hazard. So let's download El Hazard. That's what the downloading window on Windows on Internet Explorer was like before Internet Explorer version 6. let's just download it to this folder. So we're going to be installing that. I did not know there was an Escaflowne one. Sure. Yeah, we'll download that. I don't mind that being in Japanese. In fact, I'll probably... So, now that we're done with the internet, let's take a look at how you would used to change themes in Windows Millennium. And we'll be starting that with the introduction of we'll start with the introduction to the what is it? It's the menu thing. The control panel. Now the control panel was not as eloquent as in Windows Millennium as you will later on come to see in Windows XP. Go to C. No, not C. You go to Start. Much like Windows 98, much has changed. But unlike Windows 98, what the fuck have you done, Microsoft? So, this is a bit more complicated. I think you might go here just to do like setting, accessibility, but I don't know. Because Microsoft, you people have changed everything. Oh, wait a minute, there's a setting for view all control panel options. I mean, later on they would make this even better in XP. So let's go to there. And so you have desktop themes. Click on that. Of course, you have your default themes and some of your Windows 98 themes. I'm going to basically save this one but I'm going to load this up and just change the wallpaper to the Windows Millennium. It's run active desktop. Enable that. So I'm going to show what that wallpaper looks like. Or show. So now I'm going to just open up the desktop properties. And we're going to go to, we're going to save this, so that way, I keep the original icons and all that. I wanted to have those. And so, the way you change a theme in Windows Millennium and 98 as well. Oh brother, we're gonna freeze like this. Oh well. the way you change a theme in Windows Millennium is you go whatever your current settings, whatever you have currently set to, you click on this drop down menu and you select the theme that you want. For instance, if you want this theme, you select this. But if you don't want the mouse pointers for this theme, you select, or whatever, you can select whatever you don't want. And you can keep like color, font, names and styles. And as you can see, there you go. And yeah, we're going to just change the screensavers, sound effects. And there we go. You click apply and now you have a new theme. And this basically adds sound effects. So if you wanted to clean your desktop, I guess now we can, let's first deal with like some other things that were different compared to like Windows 98. Things that Microsoft did a bloody good job on that I like in Windows Millennium. They integrated the sound effects with multimedia, sound and multimedia. Now that's all integrated into one. Just like the sound effects. Let's see if we can find like Start Windows. Let's play that.
I live to suffer and to bring suffering. If there is an end to this existence, I wish for nothing else.
See? If you want to select different sound effects, you can do that. We're not going to do that here. Now, so unlike Windows 98, there's sound devices, as I just said a little bit a while ago, now integrated into the same menu. You like, and you can select whatever driver sound devices you have. Yeah, I've got I have the soft synthesizer program that Yamaha licensed to Square Soft for the PC version of a particular game that they released on the PC that we'll show off later on, but not right now. So I'm just showing you this. It voices, recording, and so we'll show your devices. And I believe you can disable devices, maybe, or go to property. Do not map to this device, whatever. I think that's disabled. And that's kind of a brief look at the differences. Or maybe just look at the start menu. You can do auto hide. I guess it would be auto. I like auto hide. You can also access that here. What about the Nvidia drivers? Well, I believe you can access the Nvidia drivers here. Or we may have to go into the we may have to go into here. That's probably getting annoying. Right there. Do here. It's running a 32-bit color. Go here. Go here. advanced options. Overlays of the GLC. So all the usual fare. If there's any difference between that and OpenGL setting, not much. On by default, you can disable that, but I'm not going to mess around with the settings. But yeah, we're going to take a look at some programs. What about Windows Media Player? You're probably wondering. Break my heart, ba 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 ba. There's someone calling your name. You're driving me insane. So, yeah. So, this is Windows Media Player version 7.1. This is a slight update to the version that was included with Windows Media Player, not Windows Media, with Windows ME. And this came bundled, and Windows Media Player version 7 came bundled with Windows Millennium. So let's look at the information. Version 7.01, dated 2000. Let's look at the options that you have with this. Start media player guide and whatever. Network. Let's see. You can choose to have the settings, like you can go as far as 160 kbps, digital copying, use error correction, so you can do error correction, portable devices if you have any, so yeah, you can select video formats and whatnot. Like I have these set selected here. Visuals, visualizations and all that. You do that. 640 by 480, fine. You just set up your media library. You can just set your network connection crap, whatever. So, what did much of this look like? Of course, this doesn't work anymore. CD audio. Now if you have a CD in the CD-ROM drive, you can rip music from here. Copy. So you copy music. And so this is a media library. You choose no. Well, we're going to choose no for right now. So you can organize music by genre or all. Genre, artist, album, or all audio. video, all clips, or by author. You can do all that. If you have like a radio tuner installed on this machine, you can use the radio tuner. But we don't have a radio tuner installed. If you have like a zip drive or some early MP3 player device, whatnot, you can go to portable devices and yeah. This was the first version of media player to support skins for your media player. So let's go to skin chooser. And I don't know, Age of Mythology, since I'm a big Anubis fan, apply skin. Now, it is Anubis. Whatnot, you got all the icons. Let's return to full screen mode and choose one that basically is a personal favorite of mine, and I don't know where it is. It should be in here. Of course, it's the Windows Millennium one, but I should have installed it on there. I guess there it is, the official Xbox skin. So yeah, that's cool. I go back to that, exit that. But I bet that most people during this time used the program that is still used by quite a lot of people. And even more so, maybe, than Windows Media Player, Winamp Media Player. So yeah, let's go through that. Of course, we don't have it connected.
It's drinking time.
Resource, oh man, whatever. Of course, this is Winamp Media Player. Let's go to Media Library, Video. And you can take these windows and attach them to the player. So you can see me move it around. And now they're all one, which was really cool. And that video, I believe, was also the visualization thing. So let's look at the options. And I believe you could rip music with this. Yeah, you could rip music with this version of Winamp input. So let's see, MIDI, you can choose a MIDI device that you may have plugged in. I'm not going to do that, just going to cancel all your output, whatever in there. Now, what would you have used back in the what version of Office would have been released around the time that this computer was manufactured? Well, let's go to let's delete that because we do not need the created folder. That's Well, why not? Load. Works 2002. I've not loaded that. Product registration. But this is Works 2002. This is Works 2002 to be more exact. So let's take a look at tasks. The things here. Travel. Programs, Works, datasheet, work database, whatever. Encarta! I get Encarta! Money, picture it, photo 2002. MSN came with this machine. Internet Explorer, you can load from here, which is pretty wicked. Outlook Express, Windows, yeah, whatever. But let's load like Work spreadsheet, or rather Works calendar. I would rather show that off. That's probably never been shown off. So, yep. Or D and whatnot. You can just put whatever you want in there if you want.
Well, maybe Shayla is right after all. You've turned into some kind of big sex-crazed deviant, haven't you?
Yeah, ignore that. Okay. Moving on. So, what other programs? I said that I installed the Office suite, the Office XP. Well, Microsoft Office XP would have been released around this time. So let's load Office XP, or load something more specific to it, Microsoft Word. What happens? So what if we wanted to type something in the screen, I think. As of course jokingly quoting Hitler or something, Popey, or what if we made a mistake? Of course this is a change. Creepy Bezel, whatever. So none of this ribbon crap. Just good old fashioned Office. Though I like the ribbon, I found that I've gotten used to the ribbon. So what
the hell
are
do you think you're doing, huh?
So what about games and such? Well, or other software that you could have installed on here. Well, we got the Windows Media Player bonus. Thing, this stop. Got the Windows Media Player bonus. Heck, I didn't want to load that. Got the Windows Media Player bonus pack. And you got some, like, various utilities, a WinAmp skin importer. So that's an audio converter, which I'll show that off, what that looks like. You got the Windows Media 7 Power Toys. So let's just show that off. This is a media converter, and you can convert MP3. You can convert things to MP3, I believe. So let's see what the settings. Or whatnot. You can just audio CDs and whatnot. And whatever. Like, whatever. So what about games? Well, what about games, as I said before? Well, I happen to have the original Half-Life installed on here. And I'm going to show that off. This sound card does EAX support as a part of the VXD drivers. So I said, why not play Half-Life? Let's see how well that runs on here. So let's make sure the settings are set up. Now whatever, I'll just leave them. So let's load a new game. I believe this is in oh crap. Oh crap, we're gonna have to look at video settings. Settings. It's 640 watts. We're really good. Audio settings. EAX.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel. The time is 8:47 a.m. Current topside temperature is 93 degrees, with an estimated high of 105. The Black Mesa compound is maintained at a pleasant 68 degrees at all times. This train is inbound from Level 3 dormitories to Sector C test labs and control facilities. If your intended destination is a high security area beyond Sector C, you will need to return to the Central Transit Hub in Area 9 and board a high security train. If you have not yet submitted your identity to the retinal clearance system, you must report to Black Mesa personnel for processing before you will be permitted into the high security branch of the transit system. Of material routinely handled in the Black Mesa compound. No smoking, eating, or drinking are permitted within the Black Mesa transit system. Please keep your limbs inside the train at all times. Do not attempt to open the doors until the train has come to a complete halt at the station platform. In the event of an emergency, passengers are to remain seated and await further instruction. If it is necessary to exit the train, disabled personnel should be evacuated first. Please stay away from electrified rails and proceed to an emergency station until assistance arrives.
That's enough. That's enough of that particular thing. Let's load a more combat
centric part of the game. So let's go to advancing. But my mouse sensitivity is a little weird. There. I guess that's alright. I guess that's fine. And yes, you can use a joystick with this game. Let's load a save game. I don't know which part am I on. Let's look. We got hostile. Thought that was gonna give me a problem. That's not the part I want to load. That's the part I want to load. Let's load. So what about whatever. What about this? So now our movement, tongue features, which by the way, and if you've never played Half-Life or its expansions, and the Half-Life in the expansion for Half-Life called Opposing Force, you can actually wield one of these tentacle creatures as an actual weapon. So let's get into a combat area. I'm gonna have to jump because I don't know why. See, if that happens and then you get stuck, now you're kind of screwed. So guess what? We're gonna have to do it again, and we're just gonna went past all the bull crap. And so you gotta jump. I gotta jump because I don't know why that happens. Do that, and I just don't want to really care about doing all this crap. Push that down. Screw that bull crap. I could have shown you how to crowbar, but screw that. Gotta get all that done. So I have to jump because I don't know why it gets stuck there for me. But it does. But I get stuck and then it clips. So let's just try this again. This is kind of bull crap, but I gotta deal with it. I guess the Game of the Year edition bug. There you go. Now we're not. So I'm running the game at 640 by 480 with OpenGL. Let's see how well this runs. Whoa! let's skip this area, get the fuck out of here, because we're gonna get Now we're trapped. But how are we gonna get out? Well, oh, we gotta get patched up. Oh! We're screwed. So we're gonna just... I gotta change the control. Because, you know what? Let's change that to... let's change that to C, because, you know, I'm gonna be using... that's what it should be. Because my left control key doesn't work. I've always thought that was a better key.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project. Judging from your hazard suit, I'd say you were part of what went wrong. Right? Now look, if anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex. If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team. You can trust them. You can trust all. Good luck.
Good luck. We're counting on you. As the old
Lead the way. This should make you feel better.
Cool thing about the scientists in this game is they kill you.
I don't suppose you reconsider. Look at that.
It's your fault. It's your fault that all this is happening. Fuck you! You got the sample. Fuck you! Fuck you. Now, enough of that. That's halfway. What about let's just show off another game. Another game that actually does have support for, EAX 2.0, and of course I haven't played through enough. That is Unreal Tournament. And I guess this will be this. I believe I'm running this in OpenGL.
In 2291, in an attempt to control violence among deep space miners, the New Earth government legalized no-holds-barred fighting. Leandri Mining Corporation, working with the NEG, established a series of leagues and bloody public exhibitions. The fight's popularity grew with their brutality. Soon, Leandri discovered that the public matches were their most profitable enterprise. The professional league was formed. A cabal of the most violent and skilled warriors in known space selected to fight in a grand tournament. Now it is 2341. 50 years have passed since the founding of Deathmatch. Profits from the tournament number in the hundreds of billions. You have been selected to fight in the professional league by the Leandri Rules Board. Your strength and brutality are legendary. The time has come to prove you are the best.
To crush your
To
enemy.
crush your enemies.
To win the tournament.
To win the tournament.
So let's take a look at the settings. Video settings, OpenGL. 32-bit color depth, which doesn't work. Which, whenever you try to enable that in OpenGL mode, you end up crashing on your tournament. Our resolution is 640 by 480, like Half-Life. I don't even have the hardware acceleration enabled. And I do believe I have the hardware acceleration stuff enabled, installed on here for EAX2. So let's start, let's change it. Let's do that. Male, female, I like female. Women, there's Death March. So let's pick a movie. I've done the tutorial, so let's just pick, Lake. You know what? We're gonna have to change this thing, so. Yeah, we're gonna change the settings. I'm gonna show you how to change them in this version of Unreal Tournament. I'll show you how to do that. Of course, you have a folder called User. It's basically, by the way, if you want to check your time, double click that and that brings it up. So the time and day, or rather the day, I believe it's the 8th. It doesn't seem more. Yeah, so let's go here, whatever, Cape area, yep. Let's change W. Let's do that. So, up, forward. Because I want to be able to play this game not with the same closely, but rather with the one that I'm most used to. So you delete. Let's go to A. I believe A should be left. Left. Shut up. I think this keyboard might be. I think that this keyboard may be broken. D. Of course, this is how I change things in the game. A. W. Forward, forward. W. got like an S, and the S key's all the way down here. But we're going to change somewhere in this, and trust me, we'll find it. Let's follow it all the way up here. S. Why must you make it hard? So, S. We'll make that X. Make that X. Yeah, when we get around to when there's XP, I will be prepared. So
What the hell do you think you're doing, huh?
let's just load the game up.
In 2091, in an attempt to control violence on Deep Space Miners, the new Earth government legalized no-holds-barred mining. The Untitled Mining Corporation, working with the MOG, established a small
You can hear the difference.
public exhibition.
But now let's load it. Can you hear it? Yeah, we're not going to run the tutorial, but we're going to run it. Now we should have the keyboard. Oh, fuck. Fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah, that's cool, huh? That's sightseeing. Yeah, I'm going to take the foam out of the mouse. I have some be a little dirty with the mouse a little. Let's show that off. There we go, now. You flacking bugger. You know what? Fuck you. Oh, run the fuck away. Run the fuck away. Run the fuck fuck away. Fuck you! Fuck you! Asshole. Yeah, I don't... But I think... Fuck you! Look at me, I'm the sexy babe that kicked your ass, motherfucker. I guess that's enough. I guess that's enough of, like, those. Now let's do some, like, benchmarking. So, I could show off Quake 3 Arena. Fuck! This mouse is, doing some weird stuff. So let's go to, like, Quake, and we're going to benchmark when Quake. So, see, bench B-mark. Yeah, it's a little buggy with the Nvidia card that is installed. So it tends to do that. And so it gives you an FPS of 50.2 frames per second. Not bad for WinQuake. For the WinQuake client, which allowed you to run Quake the way it was originally intended to be played, but within the Windows client, in 21.7 seconds, 190 frames. That's no, not 190 frames. 1,090 frames. Pretty good for this is pretty good for a computer for this type of machine. What about WinQuake? Not WinQuake. What about GL Quake? Now we had GL Quake, B-Mark, Max. We had benchmark. Let's see what this does. Now this gives you a full 60.3 frames per second and just about 12.1 seconds. 1,090 frames. GL Quake. Yeah, that's why one of the reasons why people like GL Quake was because the GL Quake client was much, much better in terms of, like, performance. Especially if you had, like, a video card like the one is installed on this machine. Or something kind of contemporary. Back in, like, the year 2000. So, the next game I want to show off is a game called Quake 2. So before we do that, I want to make sure the video settings are set properly. Yeah, this is 1024 by 768. I guess I could run it at that and benchmark it at that, but I want to run 640 by 40. And I'm going to be using a benchmark called the Crusher benchmark. And we're going to seek every frame because, you know, gotta do that. I want to I want to show what it would have been like to run. What it would have been like to run this this game. Make sure everything is working. And unlike
Indicate possible camouflage access in wet sector 430.
and I'm going to be using a benchmark that is not included with Quake 2. The one that I downloaded that is normally used to benchmark 3DFX, Voodoo 3, or 3DFX based video cards and add-on cards. So we're going to load a little shortcut. This is a benchmark called Crusher, but I guess I don't have it on here. Let's see. I should have it somewhere on the thumb drive. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, I guess it's not on here. Oddly enough. Well, this again. I guess it's probably going to be whatever. My thumb drive is over here. I don't know where it is. Where the hell did I put the damn thing? I guess. Could be loading that benchmark. Yeah, whatever. Do we have the benchmark? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it again, shall we? Who do you work for? There we go. This, I believe, is. So we got 52.7 frames per second and 31.7 seconds with 1,668 frames. We were a little bit close to summoning Satan here, don't we think? And not bad performance for a PCI video card, if I say so myself. And this game was released like 4 years prior. 4 years prior to this, or 4 years, 1997, 98, 99, 2000, 2001. It was released 5 years prior to this, to the manufacturing of this computer. So, I guess now we get to take a look at our last things related to Windows Millennium. And the last thing, not Millennium, but yeah, after I show off one more game. That's right, folks. I installed the PC version of Final Fantasy VII on here. Of course, I believe I'm in the ancient library, not ancient library. I'm in the ancient temple right now. See if the graphics are working fine. Good sound. It automatically recognizes the sound card. So you can see that I have the Nvidia patch that have version 1.02 installed because I'm running an Nvidia GeForce 4, which means that I can take full advantage of the 3D graphics capabilities of this game. So let's so now we're gonna load the game. Look, it actually load. I'm gonna let you guys listen to the MIDI. If you played the PC or the original PlayStation release of this game, this is going to sound different from what you're used to. The Temple of the Ancients. There's, let's try something like Cosmo Canyon. Nibelheim Mountain. Brokeback Nibelheim. As you can see, the game looks pretty cool. And it works fine with the Nvidia GeForce. Got here demonstrate. to fight. Yeah, there's another game that I want to show you. Since Final Fantasy VII doesn't seem to be pushing, seems to not be pushing its computer hard enough, I've not just obviously installed this Final Fantasy VII to this computer, but I have also installed Final Fantasy VIII for the PC. And these were like the only two games released to the PC back in the late 90s. So I thought, let's see if we can push the envelope even further. Now I've installed a mod that fixes the music problem in the PC version of Final Fantasy VIII. So let's first take a look at the settings for this game. Final Fantasy 8-Big. Now I've installed the Nvidia specific patch for this game. Which allows it to work with Nvidia based graphics cards. And this is another game that takes advantage of EAX. So let's just load Final Fantasy VIII. I think is a great game to end the list of games that you would have been playing on here. I ache the touch of your lips, dear. Much more for the touch of your whips, dear. You can raise wells like nobody else as we dance to the masochism tango. Didn't I tell you this game was quite demanding? Oh my, look at the butts of those sexy little girls. Oh my. School uniforms. Woo, woo, woo! I'm howling like a wolf here. Fuck you, Squall. Damn you, Squall. So let's basically do this. This makes it freeze a little, because this is a graphically demanding game. Lots of code sheet. Look at her groupies. Oh my. Someone draw the picture of the schoolgirls. I think it's going to be, I'm hoping that some of the persons kind of loud audio while I'm doing this, I'll be ticked off. Yeah, you can see how this game struggles going on here. I don't care. This is my least favorite video, my least favorite Final Fantasy. One of my least favorite Final Fantasy games. Get on with it. I don't care. I know how to play this game. Whatever. They could have just put that in the menu system. Yeah, I know. There we go. flaw that I installed makes it sound like the original PlayStation release. I believe we're almost out of drive space. Let's slow the battery. That with me, baby. And I guess that's enough for that. Yeah, that's how that's the only way I can turn off, that's the only way I can stop Final Fantasy VIII. So, the last few things that we're going to take a look at in regard to Windows Millennium Edition are some of the applications which came with Windows Millennium that were not present in Windows 98. And those were Windows Movie Maker or Windows Movie Maker. Yeah. So let us load up Windows Movie Maker. But first, we're going to take a little tour of Windows Millennium just to see what other features were introduced. Bad kid. Bad kid. You're gonna get a spanking by your parents. By the way, I don't condone spanking. Children. Not really. Remember what I talked about? About networking? When there's updates, baby! Hey, when there's my new Microsoft logo. So let's first take a look at Windows Movie Maker. Yeah, Windows Media Player we took a look at. Pick my pictures, the new my pictures, scanning cameras, which we have. Movie Maker, yep, you can make movies. Games, which this came with some other games. What games that would have come with Windows Millennium. We'll load those. We'll actually load those last. But let's try like Movie Maker. Let's try that. Try it. We've already tried let's do like how show me. If I had that video card in here, I would actually install that PCI video card in here. Not PCI video, PCI capture card in here. Probably would be better. Okay. So what version of Media Player came out was released for like this? Version 7. Not version 7. Version 1.0.1376.0 version of Movie Maker. And later on, there would be an updated version of Movie Maker, like to the one that is first initially released for XP, would be released as an update for Windows Millennium Edition. So let's take a look at some other games, at the games that were included with this. So, of course, Internet Explorer, we looked at MSN Messenger, we haven't looked at these, Windows, home networking. I've already shown you a little bit more of the home networking side of things. So let's show you some of the games that came with Windows Millennium. Of course, we have Internet Hearts, but I believe we also have the games that would have come with it by default, like Classic Solitaire. Yeah, I always suck at this. But what about Internet Checkers? Now, I bet you that doesn't work anymore. And I wonder if we can do, we can always play Minesweeper. Because I don't have it connected to the network. I'll have to try that with XP though, they did put the version, the pinball game from Windows 95 Plus back in here. From Minesweeper. Ah, I was never really good at Minesweeper. I guess one more game. Load it again. There we go. Kind of, X to X. There we go. guess that's enough. And I hope you enjoyed this this video of me showing off what it was like to own a computer back in 2001 to like 2002. The next video we'll be covering will be part 2 of this video series, and we'll be covering Windows XP. But I do actually have one more thing to show off before we wrap it up, and that is how. And this relates to Windows Millennium Edition and Windows XP. Since Windows XP, since Millennium can do hibernation, I'm going to basically set this up to do hibernation. So forget how to do that, but there is a way to do that. And there is a setting in I'll have to check it and see if I can figure this out. I thought this would be fun to show off. I think this would be worth checking out. I do not remember how to use it. Power options. The power option. Of course, there's no hibernation tab. Now, why is there no hibernation tab? Or advanced. So I'm going to have to figure this one out. So I'll be now I've managed to figure out how to do this. So if you're having the problem that I'm having, is you go to start menu, do that, and we're going to type in we're going to type in msconfig. We're going to go to what is it? Run msconfig in the open box. Click OK. System configuration, and we're going to go to advanced troubleshooting settings. Blah 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 blah. Now we're going to go to. It is going to look. Let's see what we got. Advanced. Yep. And then see what we have here. I don't see enable startup menu. Probably, yeah, I should enable that anyway. So I don't really see it in here. So it is enable. So there we go. Maybe. So let's go to like, see what we got here. Now if this doesn't work, I could always if anything, I could show you guys. We'll see if it's enabled. It may just be my BIOS setting isn't set or whatnot.
Well, maybe Sheila is right after all. You've turned into some kind of big sex-crazed deviant, haven't you?
Let's do that.
The obedient circuit is destroyed. You'll never have to listen to anyone give you a command again. You're free, Farita. It's true, you are.
You're right, I really am free at last.
Let's see if this fixes the problem. Because I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to be here anymore than I do. So let's see if the hibernation menu thing shows up. What? And the blazes happened. Now I don't know what happened, but we're gonna see.
I live to suffer and to bring suffering. If there is an end to this existence, I wish for nothing else.
So, I bet he's starting to do his whole crap again. Yeah, luckily I got most of the video done before someone started to do what he usually does. Hopefully I have Saturday to myself. Let's see, control panel, and control panel. Let's see. Will it actually show the option in the power options? Power options? Advanced? No. I don't know why. Or it show the option in no. So let's see. Run msconfig, I guess. Now you shouldn't really go into this and edit anything. Now if it's not enabled by this point, which it should be enabled, oh, we don't go in the Windows folder. That's basically kind of pretty much what it looks like. The new stuff compared to 98. You see 98. Windows folder. Better not touch anything in the Windows folder, my dear. You might brick it. In fact, we're gonna probably have to do something here. So I'm gonna go to a local machine system control services. Let's see, what? Is it there? I click on the right one. Local current control set service. So let's find the power. Let's see if we found. There we go. We found it. So let's verify what. So I added D word value. What? So verify D word value. Cover flag. So we don't even have like an option for we don't even have an option for hibernation. Interesting. So I guess I can't show hibernation because we don't have WDM drivers. So that's alright. I can show hibernation in virtual PC. So that's fine. I hope you enjoyed the video.
The immediate circuit is destroyed. You'll never have to listen to anyone give you a command again. You're free, Nvidia. It's true, you are.
You're right, I really am free at last.
So please like and subscribe. And when I get and part 2 will eventually be done, where we take a look at this very interesting time in computing. Take care, everyone.